Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining us for another Broadfield Weekly Dealer webinar. Every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You will see I am going to be joined on today's show by Kevin Powers from PTZOptics. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Doing great, Jim. Thanks for having me on today.
Thanks for joining us, and thank you for joining us earlier this week as Broadfield hosted our national sales conference. While we had our sales team in town, these PTZ Optics Studio 4K cameras arrived in our warehouses here. So we're going to introduce that camera to you. But over on my other side here, we have some exciting new hardware that Kevin, Brandy, and Tom from PTZ Optics showed up with at our sales conference. Broadfield loves the hardware, and we want to thank you so much for these great awards, Kevin. Thank you.
Oh, of course, of course. You guys earned it 100%. We just wanted to show you our appreciation and thank you for everything you did for us in 2024.
Definitely appreciate it. We're going to keep it up with all of our dealers and integrators and make sure 2025 is equally as successful. We have a Broadfield Innovative Marketing Award from PTZ Optics based on doing webinars like we are today, helping to train up the dealer channel and to introduce these cameras to you, and more importantly, some of the different workflows and solutions that they fit in. And then, of course, the USA Partner Award, we hold that one very proudly because as a partner of PTZ Optics, that partnership extends to all of our dealers, system integrators, e-tail sellers, everyone out there that are selling and working with us on making PTZ Optics a huge success. And with that, we want to introduce Kevin and the brand new PTZ Optics Studio 4K. Kevin, before we get into this brand new camera, for our dealers who have not had the pleasure of meeting you, either at some of these local trade shows or at a Broadfield event, why don't you introduce yourself to the team?
Of course. Hey, everybody. I am Kevin Powers. I am the Eastern U.S. channel manager at PTZ Optics. Been with the company for about 10 years. So over that time, you've probably seen me quite often at a bunch of our shows, events, things like that. And just a big thank you to the Broadfield team for having us on today.
Always a pleasure to have you on. The real star of today's show is this guy right here on the side of me. This is the PTZ Optics Studio 4K camera. Now, you may be familiar with the previous generation, the HD cameras. They were introduced by PTZ Optics as the Z Cam. Now we have a brand new camera, brand new branding to the camera, and that is the Studio line, which is a studio fixed box camera. And this one we're talking about today is the Studio 4K. The Studio 4K is in stock now. The first shipments just arrived yesterday here at Broadfield, so we can get this out for all of you, your customers, and the installs that you're working on. Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about the Studio 4K?
Absolutely. So the Studio 4K is, as Jim said, our new box camera with an upgraded image sensor, internal components, lens, everything like that. And as with our previous renditions, we offer this in 12x and 20x optical zoom. We also offer it in white or gray. The major features for this is you're going to get that 4K 60 out of the HDMI. You're also going to get it out of the NDI HX2, which is native to the camera. The 3G SDI is still limited to 1080p, but it is great if you just need that hardwired run to one of your switchers or something like that. We will be releasing a firmware update for the Studio 4K, which will be coming in the very near future, that will enable a 2x digital zoom on the camera. So this would be great for those super long distance shots. We'll say you have a 20x Studio 4K camera. You can actually use a 2x digital zoom to now enable a 40x overall zoom and still get a crisp, clear 1080p picture. So we're really happy with the way this camera came out. The image quality is really next level for us. So can't wait for everyone to get their hands on it.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about all of the ways that you can access and control the camera, including PTZ Optics software interface, the brand new Hive management solution. This is the first camera that has Hive built into it, and we're going to go into that in just a moment. But you'll also see on the camera itself, you have your buttons for common everyday camera controls right there on the camera. So on all the models, you can take that, you can get it set up and running very quickly, very easily, and it plays very well into a lot of different environments. Let's play this little sizzle reel and then we'll talk a little bit more about the camera itself. Go, 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 go. And as you can see on the slide here, as Kevin talked about, there are 4 SKUs available. You either choose a 12X or 20X, and both are available in either gray or white. But while I have the camera here on the table in front of me, I want to point out all of the different mounting options available. One of the great things that PTZOptics did in designing this camera was put those mounting holes on both the side and the bottom of the camera, allowing you to set that camera up in pretty much any orientation for any use or application out there. And Kevin, you and I already spoke a little bit about PTZOptics Hive. This camera has Hive built into it, right?
That's correct. So this is our first ever Hive linked camera.
Okay.
What do we mean by Hive linked? So when we launch PTZOptics Hive, which is coming at the end of Q1 2025, you'll be able to take a PTZOptics Studio 4K camera and launch your Hive session wherever you're located. You connect your Studio 4K camera directly into Hive. It immediately shows up as a usable device. You can now send that camera anywhere in the world. You simply send it across the globe. As soon as it's plugged back into the network, it becomes available in your Hive session back at your headquarters. So it adds a ton of flexibility for that enhanced remote production that we're looking to achieve with Hive.
And that's great. And I've had the opportunity to see a demo of Hive, and Hive is being developed by PTZOptics to not only control PTZOptics cameras, but to access other cameras that may be used in different installations and applications as well. The nice thing about the Studio 4K being Hive linked in the box is it really opens up an ease of remote production management. You can work with your customers who are looking to get into that remote production space, introduce them to these Hive linked cameras, and show them how they can link that into their remote management, into their Hive application, send it out to their customers anywhere or to their remote producers, and now bring that content in to one location very quickly, very easily. I see a lot of applications, especially in the corporate space, where my team who is out at a trade show may not be the most technical team, but this is already linked to my Hive. They set the camera up, and now I'm getting the video feed from the show. So any application like that that you can think of with the combination of the PTZOptics Studio 4K camera, the PTZ cameras, and the Hive Studio software, you're going to be able to create that remote production studio to enable your team to send video from anywhere and control that video as it comes in. Let's learn a little bit more about Hive with this video. Kevin, our system integrators always want to make sure they're providing their clients with a complete solution. They know how to sell hardware like the PTZOptics cameras, like the Studio 4K. But now, when we get into the SaaS and cloud applications, the question is always the same. Is this going to be available in a sales model through the dealer channel?
Yes, absolutely. So we would never leave our dealers out of anything that we offer on our product line. So this will be readily available. You can contact your favorite broadfield sales rep. They'll be able to get you that pricing on the PTZ Optics Hive and all of the various different levels and tiers to the program as it becomes available towards the end of Q1. But it is wide open for our entire dealer channel.
And that's one of the things that we love working with PTZ Optics is PTZ Optics knows that you are the ones who have leveraged these relationships with your customers. You're walking in, you're helping them install the right cameras for the right applications, and even setting up these remote production environments that will allow them to take a Hive Link camera like the Studio 4K and ship it and send it all over the world. Being able to offer them the Hive Studio application and access to control all of their cameras is a way that we are going to help increase the market and increase your partnership and your sales with PTZ Optics. So, Kevin, as excited as we are to have the Studio 4K in our warehouses here at Broadfield, it, of course, is the perfect complement to the rest of the PTZ Optics product line. These box cameras are awesome additions to a multi-camera PTZ environment. And because of that 4K P60 capability, you take that and you put it into an application with the PTZ Optics Move 4K cameras, or for your customers who are doing HD installations, the Move SE, you can create an entire production environment, all from the PTZ Optics price sheet. So let's remind our dealers a little bit about the rest of the PTZ Optics product line with the Move 4K. Kevin, why don't you give us a quick intro?
Of course, yeah. So our Move 4Ks, these have been around for about 2 years now. These are our 4K 60 over HDMI. They have NDI HX3 built in, PoE Plus, comes with our industry standard 5-year warranty that we've kind of set ourselves apart from the rest of the pack with. So this camera, it is going to look and match with those Studio 4Ks perfectly. If you have a customer that has a Move 4K 30X they might be using to actually pan, tilt, and zoom over long distances, get them to take a look at the Studio 4K 12X, which then it's a perfect wide angle shot. It adds you a nice variety to your shots. And on the other side, if you have a 12X or a 20X optical zoom Move 4K that might be panning and tilting, look at the 20X Studio 4K, which can be used for those nice static long distance shots. So we can really mix and match those cameras, and you can really provide a perfectly curated solution for your end users.
And I did want to also point out that 30X capability on the Move 4K is really going to give you that superior optical image quality with that really long optical zoom capability.
Absolutely. We've used the 30X 4K over 100 feet in some scenarios, and it is still perfect. Use that enhanced auto tracking that we offer with it as well, which can auto track people over 320 feet away. So there's a ton of flexibility with the Move 4K cameras.
That's great. And then for your price conscious customers, there's the Move SE cameras also available. When you're working in like a video podcast situation where these people are looking to stream just to get the message out there quickly. A lot of them are still streaming in HD, and the Move SE is the perfect camera to get them set up and running at a very affordable price, starting at just $999 for that 12x zoom Move SE camera. Kevin, these share a lot of the same features and capabilities as the Move 4K cameras, is just in that HD optical image quality, right?
That's correct. And you are going to see a bit more standard of the auto tracking, where the Move 4K has that improved single target selection and even group based tracking that we can do with the Move 4K. The Move SE is limited to a single target, but it still performs incredibly well in just about every scenario. If you have those houses of worships that tend to be fairly budget conscious, this
Yep.
is the perfect camera, as Jim said. Get you in the door for $999 with a 12x, and the 30x is only $200 more to that end user. So it's not going to break the bank to get a seamless solution for all of your customers.
And then, of course, PTZ Optics has their PTZ controllers to control and handle all of these cameras. And quite honestly, pretty much any camera you can find in an existing installation as well. The PTZ Optics SuperJoy is one of our favorite controllers on the market because of the insane flexibility and control options available on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Superjoy at a reasonable price point of $899, and as Jim said, you can control just about every camera on the market. It is not limited to just PTZ Optics cameras. You can control Sony, Panasonic, Canon, whatever camera you would like to control, you can do so with the Superjoy. The speed controls built in add a ton of flexibility so that if you have a person who's not very familiar with a joystick controller, you can turn those speeds all the way down on your camera so that no matter how hard they press that joystick, the cameras are going to be very cinematic in their movement. We love the Superjoy. We're constantly pushing out new updates for it, so stay tuned to learn more.
Absolutely, and the amount of different preset control scenes, things that you can do on that SuperJoy controller really do make it a flagship product that does give you all those different control up capabilities. And then, of course, there is the lesser cost IP Joy, which is also available. And PTZ Optics has put these joystick controllers together in these producer bundles. So now, for your cost conscious customer that's looking for a multi camera solution, there is a PTZ Optics producer bundle with Move SE cameras and that IP Joy joystick controller, giving you that whole package in a multi-camera operation for just $37.45. From more of the flagship perspective, you can get 3 of the Move 4K 20H PTZ cameras with the SuperJoy controller for $65.45. And of course, if you need to mix and match and offer your customers a multi camera solution, PTZ Optics and Broadfield have partnered together to bring you the Flex Bundles. The Flex Bundles allow us to work with you and your customers to get the multi camera configuration that they need at the best possible savings. You can take 12x, 20x, and 30x cameras. You can add the Studio 4K cameras, add the joystick controllers, put these all together, and we will work with you to get bundle discounts, dealer registrations when available, and everything you can do to help close that sale and offer with confidence to your customer a complete solution for all of their camera needs in a live production setting. Kevin, any advice for our dealers as they start to build out these multi-camera studios and multi-camera configurations?
Absolutely. So if your customer is starting from scratch, they have no existing equipment, those pre-bundled producer kits are perfect for that, offering those 320x cameras. But not everybody has a perfectly shaped or a cookie cutter setup. So we offer those flex bundles so that maybe it's a really long, narrow room. So you want a 30x in the back of the room or even a Studio 4K 12x in the back of the room. And then on either caddy corner wall, in that room, you could have a 12x Studio 4K or a 12x Move 4K to really capture those wide angles and make sure you're capturing the entirety of the room. And then whether you want to mix and match with the PT Joy IP joystick, the Super Joy, really, it's up to what your customer is looking to achieve. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to your Broadfield rep. You can reach out to myself or anybody at the PTZOptics team. We'll ensure that you get the best possible solution for your customer.
And that is an important note to point out, and it's one of the things that separates PTZ Optics from a lot of the PTZ camera manufacturers available in the industry today. PTZ Optics, located right here in Pennsylvania, is available to help you and your customers through these questions before and after the sale. Excellent customer service, excellent customer support, and excellent warranties available across the entire product line, including, of course, the brand new Studio 4K, now shipping and in stock right here in Broadfield, your award-winning distributor for all PTZ Optic solutions. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thanks again for having me, Jim. Big thank you to the entire Broadfield team, and can't wait to see what we have in store in 2025.
I can't either. Thank you again for joining us every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any questions or need setup information on the Studio 4K camera, reach out to your Broadfield sales rep at 800-634-5178, and we'll help get you set up and get your opening orders in today. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers, so call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.